Challenge this week, 7 meals, 7 days, $100 budget. So here we go, we've got a quick look at the groceries here. We've got the fresh broccoli, I've got the odd bunch carrots, they were $1.90, so there's some bargains to be had there. The washed potatoes at 2 kilos, or 2 kilos for $5, that was pretty good. Got the free range chicken, and obviously I got the sausages, the 2 for $12. They're always a bit of a bargain. I went a bit cheap with the diced tomatoes, $2.25 for the 3 tins, and obviously the home brand paste was very good. Those heart and soul recipe bases, yeah, they were terrific, and they came in at a good price as well. Obviously the frozen peas, always a bit of a winner there with those guys. So that's sort of where we headed for our grocery list for this challenge. So as you can see, as we slide down the page, it comes to a grand total of $88.88. Something I did forget to add to the list this week, which is kind of a bit of a staple, but I probably did need to add it to our Woolies shopping list, was a bag of rice. All right, let's get started. Our first meal of the week is the muslum curry. So we've got our recipe base, our broccoli, potatoes, and our can of coconut cream. So what we'll do is we'll cut all of that up, and then we'll get it into the pan. We've got the pan on now, a bit of oil. Make sure that's nice and hot. We'll get our chicken in. We'll brown that up nicely, and then we'll start adding our ingredients. We'll start off with our muslum curry recipe base first. We'll get that in. Then we'll follow it up with our potatoes. Next, we're going to add the coconut cream, and we're going to let that simmer in the pan for around about 15 minutes in total. I'm going to simmer it for around about the 10-minute mark, and then I'm going to add in some other vegetables. Okay, so let's add in our carrot and our broccoli now. I use the stalks of the broccoli as well. No point throwing them out. I think it adds a nice bit of crunch, and there's also probably plenty of nutritious value in there. I'm going to pop the lid on there for a couple of minutes just to let the steam get into those harder vegetables, just soften them up just a little bit, and then they'll be ready to serve. So there we go, that's now finished simmering and it's ready to serve. Okay, let's move on to meal number 2. We've got butter chicken, we've got our recipe base, our chicken thighs, our onion, carrots, broccoli. We've got some coconut cream and some tomato paste. And as you can see there, I've got a couple of little helpers with me today. We'll get all this cut up and then we'll get it into the pan. As you've probably seen, I'm using chicken for our first 2 meals. So I've bought it in bulk to save some money and then split it over 2 meals. So that gets used when it's nice and fresh, and it also saves you some money in your budget. As you can see there, I've browned the chicken off, added the onions, added some tomato paste, added some coconut cream, and now we're going to add in the butter chicken recipe base. And we'll give that a good stir around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in our vegetables. So what we chopped up earlier, our carrots and our broccoli, that can go in there. And let that simmer for around about 10 minutes. I had the lid on there. That's now ready to go. Tonight's meal, we've got our loaded potatoes. Here's meal number 3. As you can see, we've got our Asian style salad there. We've got our potatoes, we've got our ham steaks, and we've got some baked beans just to add a little bit of variety to our meals. With our ham steaks, as you can see there, I'm going to pop them in the pan and give them a little bit of a fry up. As you can see, I've got a little helper with me tonight. He's doing a great job. Those ham steaks, they don't take a great deal of time just to brown up, a couple of minutes aside. Moving on to the potatoes, we're going to give them a bit of a prick with the fork, and then we're going to pop them in the microwave for about 7 minutes. The potatoes probably took a little bit longer than 7 minutes, probably took about 8 or 9. We've laid them down on the plate, and now we're going to add some of that Asian salad and some baked beans, and they're ready to go. The next meal in our 7-day, 7 meals for $100 is the curried sausages. They're a big hit around this house. Got our sausages, our onions, our carrots, and we've also got some peas. I'll pop the sausages in the air fryer for about 10 minutes, and now we're ready to pop them in the pan. So we're going to start by browning the onion. Then we're going to add the sausages, give them a bit of a stir, add a little bit of milk, Pop our recipe base in there, add the peas, give it a good stir around, add some carrot. We're going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes now. Comment below if curried sausages are a big hit at your place. Our tomato-based pasta sauce. What we're going to do first of all is we're going to chop up a couple of cloves of garlic. We'll just slice them up, not too small, so you don't want them burning in the pan when you're heating things up. So pop a bit of oil in there, garlic in first, onion in next, a couple of tins of diced tomatoes, plus some Italian herb seasoning, and we're just going to let that reduce down for about 10 minutes. Whilst that's happening, we've got our spaghetti, we'll plate it up, and there we go. Let me know in the comments below if you've got a quick pasta dish that you do at your house. Getting towards the end of the challenge now. We've got a pretty simple one, just some sausages and veggies. We're going to have some potato peas and our sausages, as you can see. My little helper has returned. He's doing a great job at getting those sausages in the air fryer. We put our peas in the microwave as well as our potatoes like we've done previously. So it's a pretty easy meal, this one. All right, just a couple of things about that meal. We got the potatoes. They went in the microwave for about 7 minutes. To start with, check with a fork, make sure they're up to scratch. If they're not, you can chuck them in for a couple more minutes. The peas went in the microwave in some boiling water for 4 minutes, and the sausages, they did 5 minutes aside in the air fryer. Okie dokes, to round off our 7 meals, we've gone with some fish and chips. Got the parmesan and rosemary fish coated fillets with some sweet potato chips. They're just going to go into the oven, 200 degrees, 20 minutes, turning at the 10-minute mark, and job's done. As you can see up above, we've got all of our ingredients for the week. All our meals have been laid out there with the appropriate ingredients. As you can see, there's quite a lot of double ups. You've got the broccoli and the carrots, and the potatoes have worked really well in being able to cross-pollinate a couple of meals. Not only does it save you money, but it also makes sure that you use all those different ingredients that you've got, and they don't go off, you don't have to throw them out. Particularly the salads that you buy in the bags, I've noticed a few times at Woolworths, they don't last a great deal of time if they sit in the fridge, or if they've been open, you can only get a day or two out of them. The chicken breast, of course, buy in bulk, save some money. The sausages, did the 2 for $12. That's a great opportunity to save a few dollars there. Potatoes, we bought them in the 2 kilo bag, as you saw, and they've just about all been used. Recipe bases were a really great addition to our meals this week. I don't normally use them, however, I found them very, very helpful this week in being able to keep under that $100 mark. I did try some favourite recipes that we have had before in this 7-day, 7-meal, $100 challenge, and by about the second meal I was already up at about $55, so I was in a little bit of strife there. Let me know in the comments below if you've had a crack at doing a bit of a challenge like this, being able to produce a few meals for the family while sticking to a budget.